Hello, I'm Kate Saunders, CEO of the British Dyslexia Association, and I'm joined here by Margaret Malpass, Chair of the British Dyslexia Association. We're delighted that the Institute of ABCD has decided to join with us to celebrate Dyslexia Awareness Week, which is something that every dyslexia organisation in England undertakes in order to spread awareness about dyslexia, about the difficulties and the strengths of dyslexic individuals.
Dyslexia was first acknowledged as a disability in legislation passed in the UK in 1970. Since then, 172 countries have adopted their version of that legislation, which shows just how much this is a global issue. Around this time, groups of parents and far-sighted educationalists began to come together in the UK as support groups. Then in 1972, they created the British Dyslexia Association, a charity to grow into a dyslexia-friendly world.
The BDA has a national helpline that receives around 2,000 calls every year and around 6,000 emails. We get about 50% of our calls from people who are inquiring about children and about 50% from adult dyslexics. We also run about 500 training events a year, and these go out mainly to teachers and teaching assistants, but also to employers and employees. We run a number of conferences each year. These are attended by teachers, teaching assistants, and we also have employers' conferences and organisational conferences. So these are for companies who are interested in dyslexia-friendly practice. The British Dyslexia Association runs a dyslexia-friendly scheme. This is a whole organisation approach whereby the organisation has a list from the BDA of the criteria that they need to fulfil in order to be showing good dyslexia-friendly practice. We have sets of criteria for dyslexia-friendly schools, dyslexia-friendly colleges, universities, vocational training organisations and companies. In addition to this, the British Dyslexia Association publishes 2 handbooks a year and also employers' guides and guides for the criminal justice service, so that people working within those organisations know how to treat people in a dyslexia-friendly manner. We are fortunate in that after 39 years of campaigning, we do have some good provisions for dyslexics within the English and the UK systems. So, for example, dyslexics within our school system do have a right to be identified, to be assessed, and to have appropriate specialist teaching provision. Unfortunately, we don't always have the resources to match the policies. So, in fact, what children get isn't always what the legislation says they should have. Equally, in employment, we have legislation which makes it possible for example, dyslexic employees to currently get in the UK access to work assessments. This is where dyslexic individuals can have reasonable adjustments made for their dyslexia. This might be assistive technology, or it might be, in severe cases, a support worker. It might be some strategy training for the dyslexic individual. And this is mainly paid for by the government. So we have come a long way in 39 years, but there is still very much more to do. The BDA has about 62 local associations, and within those about 500 volunteers do really good work locally, running workshops for teaching, some offer screening and assessment, and they offer drop-in talks about dyslexia, where parents and teachers and others who are concerned about dyslexic issues can go and get support from them.
The BDA operates internationally as well, and we are delighted in this sphere to be able to help Instituto ABCD to grow in its journey to become a major force within Brazil. Every 3 years we run an international conference, and this year was one of those 3 years. We also do considerable amounts of work overseas. Kate has a number of projects, academic projects running in European countries, and also just last week, for example, I visited the Dyslexia group operating in New Zealand. Next year is the BDA's 40th anniversary. You can see from this that actually the organisation has achieved a great deal. Nevertheless, every journey is begun with the first step, and we still haven't completed our journey to make our society totally dyslexia friendly. We've still got some challenges that we will look forward to facing.